Have you ever wondered, what does it take to be a disciplined YouTuber? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is that you know exactly where you want to go and what you want to do with your YouTube channel. You know exactly how to act and the exact steps to do when creating a video. Every day, you strive to be successful on YouTube, but then you find yourself scrolling on your phone, scrolling on YouTube, and you're slowly just losing hope over time. This video is your sign that you need to build this discipline, because just watch this. Every single person that you look up to, every single person that is successful that you look up to, I promise you has had some sort of crazy discipline, at least a season of complete discipline, complete hard work. The fact is that I want to help you and I want to teach you this, and it's so important. It's like if we were fighting a battle and I was willing to give you tools and food to be able to keep living and keep having extra strength. I'm giving you strength through this video to conquer YouTube and to help you actually work on YouTube consistently and easily, and to know exactly what you are doing and when you are doing it. So in my room, I was thinking about my life consistently. I know I talk about my past life a lot on this channel, but it's to show you that I have had a radical change. So if you haven't heard, in my room, I was constantly depressed, and I was always thinking about where I was at and what I was doing, and I was addicted. I was addicted to social media. I was addicted to YouTube, especially. I would scroll for like 3 hours every single morning. 3 hours on YouTube. And I was thinking that I was learning. I wanted to be a YouTuber. During this time, I had like 2 videos out, and I was watching so many videos a day. 10 to 30 minute videos over and over and over. All these high dopamine YouTube growth videos that were not actually helping me, because it was all the same information digested over and over and over and over by all these creators to just get views. So I was constantly having to make decisions, and of course you always have to make decisions. Life is full of decisions, and I did not have discipline, and instead I didn't resist temptation. I fell into temptation, and I would watch YouTube for hours on end. And I was addicted to YouTube. I was tempted by the fact that I could get high dopamine content on growing on YouTube. And this was my addiction. This was my temptation. And it was something that was actually diluting who I was as a man, who I was in God. And so this was completely destroying any way for me to grow on YouTube, any way for me to have discipline for myself. Jumping from business model to business model, same business model on YouTube, right? But all these different channels. So I was doing like lo-fi over here. I was doing random, like funny content, which I started getting views on. And then I was doing I did TikTok and got 160,000 views on a TikTok, but there's no point. There's no point. Even if I get the world, if you had the world, the whole entire world viewing you, but it wasn't based around what you love. If you hated dancing, which I love dancing, but if you hated dancing, and you got viral on TikTok for dancing, at a certain point you're going to break. At a certain point, you're going to start hating your life, hating even yourself, which is the worst kind of thing that could happen, because that's the exact opposite that God tells us to do, and it's the exact thing that the devil wants, for us to hate ourselves, for us to not like ourselves. And so the devil puts in our minds that it's the easy route to take all these new opportunities that are on our path, all these new things that come up that are temporary successes. But if it doesn't align with who we are, even if, my channel is about helping Christian men make content, and if you feel like making content is directly not around your purpose, I encourage you to click off this video. If it's not around your purpose, then that is okay. Continue your life, delete YouTube, get off of YouTube, stop watching YouTube stop watching YouTube on how to grow on YouTube or how to make YouTube videos. Don't worry about making content if you know for a fact that that is not around your purpose. But for the men who know that they need to share what they love, they need to share their purpose with the world and inspire the world through Christian content. Today I want to present to you a thought process that can be completely super beneficial to you. Focusing on one thing is much more efficient than multiple. Focusing on one thing is much more efficient than multiple. I do not mean one skill. I mean one end goal. One end goal. And so I've completely developed a picture of the man I want to become. The man with his wife, the man with his house, the man with his community, and I've built my habits and my skills around becoming that man. I'm consistently building skills to become that man. And so that man, future me, carries all these different kind of skills. He doesn't just carry one skill. If I took on, okay, I'm going to be a videographer, and all I do is record videos. All I do is go around recording videos. I send them to an editor, whatever. There is some skills that I'm going to learn inside of there, more than just one, more than just recording, right? But if I did that over and over and over and over and over and over and over every day, that's what so many people do all their lives. They learn one skill that they could have learned in 30 minutes, that they could have learned in 1 week or 2 weeks, and then they think that that's all they need to learn, and then do that the rest of their life, and they wonder why they don't make more money, or why they're not a millionaire yet. Even though they've been working for 40 years as hard as they can, they've been working all their lives, full-time job, they're stuck in their job, they hate it, and they're tired. Camera's bugging out. I don't know if the devil wants us to record this video, but we're still chugging, still going. But to be able to pick your purpose over anything, pick what God has for you, and develop any skill that is needed around that purpose is exactly what you need to do. It's being that man. And so I wanted to read 2 verses, and I have a little analogy that I want to show you. So the first verse is Hebrews 12:11. It says, "No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it." Those who have been trained by it. So no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. Harvest, right? Like, think of fruit. Okay, my camera's actually being so crazy. My camera is freaking out. I have no clue why. This never happens. But this is like one of the most valuable videos ever, so I'm pretty surprised. But harvest. So think of like fruit. Think of a tree. Think of apples. Oh my goodness. It turned off. Okay, we're gonna go from here with no video because my camera is freaking out. I just want you to listen, and it's gonna be like a good old little podcast. This is gonna be really important. So think of a tree with like apples, and the tree grows fruit, right? And so you're going to be blown away by this analogy. So think of you as a seed. Think of man as a seed. And so in the beginning, it talks about how man is not planted. That man is made from the dust. man is made from the ground. Now that's pretty cool because fruit and man is made from the ground. That's pretty crazy. And so think of how a seed needs to go into the ground, right? A seed needs to go into the ground. What does it do before it sprouts? It grows roots, right? Grows some roots. It has to go down before it goes up. It has to go down before it goes up. And so this is exactly how I was. I had to actually go down. I had to actually have discipline for myself. I had to actually eliminate what I loved. What my sinful self loved. I had to take that down. Grow roots in Jesus. I had to be watered by the Spirit. I had to be watered by the Bible. And through daily prayer, through going to God every single day, I sprouted in discipline. And now I can produce harvest. I can produce actual fruit. And know what happens when you consume this video? Then it produces more fruit. And so think of that analogy. Think of that you're a seed and that you can go in the ground today. You might need to take away what you love, what your sinful self loves. You might need to change your life completely. Turn it around, because there's a lot going on that shouldn't be there, that God doesn't love, right? But once you go down and you let God water you, you let the Bible consume you, you get so saturated by God, you start to grow, you start to sprout, and then you start to grow into that tree. And so to wrap it up, I just want to read Matthew 6:33. It says, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. All these things. If you seek God first, if you seek his kingdom first, have a kingdom mind, you think of the kingdom before the world. You think of what God wants instead of what your heart wants, your sinful heart, because we're all broken. Then all of these things will be given to you. Success in becoming who you want to become, that's aligned with the purpose that God has already given you. You're going to find success. You're going to be able to have discipline as a YouTuber, and you're going to be able to resist the temptation of going sideways, of getting sidetracked on things that are not important. And so focus on God first and know that he is your ultimate savior. He's your ultimate provider, and he's always going to help you develop into man that you want to become. And so if you'd like to book a free call, you totally can below. We can talk about your goals. And if you'd like one-on-one coaching with me, I have a link right below. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. See you at the coaching.